If you attended Shard Middle School last year for 6th grade and had Mrs. Haberly or Mrs. Rosengard, you learned about the reading signposts. These are different strategies that you can pay attention to as you read that will help you identify important elements of a story. They really make you stop and think about, why did the author put this in the story? It must be there for a reason, and as a reader, it's important for us to identify that and figure it out to help us understand the true meaning of the story. So we're going to go through and do a little review that goes with each of the signposts. In your flip book, in your interactive notebook, we have the notes already written out, so what I would like for you to do is use your highlighter and highlight some of the important words or phrases that stick out for each of the signposts. That means you should not be highlighting the entire sentence, just the important words. So I'm going to show you in my example what I would expect your notes to look like. After that, we're going to talk about an example that we found in Tuck Everlasting as we read it, because we knew that was a book that you read last year in English or in reading class. And then we're going to show you a little video clip that goes along with that signpost. And in your flip book, in your notebook, we want you to best explain how that clip, that movie clip, the commercial, whatever it is that we show you, how it best fits that signpost. So the first signpost is a contrast and contradiction. In this, the character acts in a way that's contradictory, or it's unexpected, given how he or she usually acts or has acted in the past. As the story has gone on, your character has shown certain character traits and then all of a sudden acts in a different way. So your text clue, what you're looking for. The author shows feelings or actions that the reader hasn't seen before or doesn't expect. So what I keep seeing here as an important idea is unexpected. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to use pink. Now if I see a contrast or contradiction as a reader, I should be asking myself, why would the character act this way? Why did he change or she change? Answering the question helps you as the reader make an inference or prediction about the plot or maybe a conflict. And I think those are two important elements. Those are things we're going to focus on all year as we go through reading different stories, different ideas in the plot and the conflict. So I'm going to highlight that. So when you read Tuck Everlasting last year, one of the signposts that you might have found, or one of the contrasts and contradictions you might have found, took place on page 34. We'll take you back as soon as we can. Tomorrow, I promise. This is awful. Can't you do something, Ma? The poor little tad. Now, as a reader, I ask myself, why are the characters acting this way? It's strange, because they just kidnapped Winnie. And when we think of a kidnapping, you know, it lends itself to a certain character trait, somebody who's very distrustful and not very nice. And so here, I wouldn't expect people who had kidnapped a little girl to show regret and to be worried and caring about her. As the reader, it's important for me to figure out that reason. Why are they acting that way? Okay. After you've taken notes about Tuck Everlasting in your notebook, I want you to go to the next slide in the blend space and watch the commercial. And in your notes, in the next column, explain how does that commercial show a contrast and a contradiction. After that, you'll continue going through and watching the different videos and taking notes in your notebook.